Okay, so we were doing things completely wrong. Get the bottle jack out of the back of the Explorer, tie strap it to the frame, and then all you gotta do is push it down, line up your shackle. We were done this sucker in like 10 minutes. You're done? There you go. What's going on, gearheads? Welcome to another episode of GearOilCafe. I'm here in my buddy's garage with the Explorer because as I've told most of you before, she's getting a lift kit, and finally I have all the parts in. I have all my hardware, I've got my shackles, I've got my shocks, my struts, everything. Not struts, they're all shocks, right? Anyways, she's up on the jack stand. She's filthy, I can't keep it clean for the life of me. So let's just jump right into it. Let's start loosening some bolts and prep to see exactly what we need to do. Alright guys, so here is the new shock compared to the old shock. So we got the first driver's side out, and honestly it just kind of fell out. So as soon as we did the top bolt, it was a, what was it, Eric? It was like a 15 mil? 15 mil on the top bolt and 10 mils on the bottom bolt. Yeah. Okay, so after you pop those bolts off, it all kind of disconnects itself, and then basically what you're left with is this. Okay, so here is the new shock. Basically, it goes into the upper portion by your frame and the lower portion by your lower control arm, and that's basically it. I didn't have to jack up anything. Tires are just under there for safety reasons. Jack's under the front end, kind of holding everything up. I didn't need to add pressure to the lower control arm or anything like that, so that is going to be super simple, and the back should be fairly cut and dry. Now for the lift kit, all we're doing for the front is we're going to be tightening and twisting these torsion bars. So these bars right here, just need to put a little more pressure on them so they basically push the suspension downwards so that it holds the vehicle off the ground a little bit more. It's a 2-inch kit all around, and it should give us some more clearance so we can do a little better off-roading. Okay, gearheads, so here is the torsion bar right here, and here's the key, and here is the bolt that you will have to tighten in order to twist this. So basically how it goes is you're going to put a little more stress going upwards. It'll push the torsion key towards the floor, and it'll twist so the tires will come down, so give it more lift. So there is maybe about an inch of thread. So I'm gonna tighten this, and we're gonna see how many tightens it takes to get about 2 inches of lift. Let's give that a try. The first thing I think you want to do is you want to take like a Sharpie, mark exactly where it is so that you get full rotations, and then you know exactly how many rotations to do on the other side. Okay, so there you can see, there's the mark. So you see the little mark on the screw, and basically I'm gonna rotate it about 3 to 4 times, and that should give it about a 2-inch lift. But if I need to compare, I need to see exactly and measure afterwards compared to what it says on the other side, compared to what it says now on the driver's side. So there's my mark. That's what I need to tighten this key so that I can get some lift. We've been mucking around a bit, trying to get it level. It's a little tricky because I think that my alignment's out. So I think that the upper control arm on one side is either lower or higher than the other side. So currently, I think the driver's side is sitting a little bit lower than the passenger side, but both torsion key bolts are fully bottomed out. So even though it took more rotations to get the passenger side bolt to the bottom, it's weird. Maybe I miscounted my rotations, I'm not sure. But basically, I took it around the block just to seat it a bit. So when you're doing this, we're jacking it up, adjusting the torsion key, and then laying it back down and trying to shake the suspension. But I took it for a spin around the block, and honestly, to have a lifted truck where the front end is like significantly off the ground, it's pretty cool. I mean, I'm getting a lot more movement. It's super cool that way. So basically, the front end is up, the shocks are done, they look fantastic. So there you go, you can see the Rancho shocks, and you can see that the bottom is now a bit of a different angle. It's kind of hard to compare because you didn't see it earlier, but basically if you look on this angle, it was flat. Now the lower control arm is a bit of a lower slant, and the CV angle is a little bit slanted versus before they were like basically perfectly straight. But it has gone up. There is a lift, and we've bottomed out the torsion key bolts. I figured that would give me maybe like 3 inches lift, but it's only more around the 2 inches of lift. So it's looking pretty good. And the truck is basically nice and lifted now. I'll try to look from another angle here. See if you can see a difference. So you can kind of tell. But we're doing the rear next, so we'll be able to get a better idea on what she'll be sitting at. But the front, dialing up all the torsion keys and doing the shocks was about 2 inches, but we're just trying to figure out how to get both sides even. Currently they're about half an inch or a little bit more than half an inch out differently. But she's looking good. Some serious clearance now, boys. Okay, so we're at the rear now. These are the rear shocks with the little spring assists for load, I guess. We need to take off that lower bolt. There's a bolt at the top there, as well as on the shackles. The shackles go here. You can see them right there. And then of course there's one right above us. So basically what we're gonna do is we're gonna start with the shackles. I'm gonna take these puppies off, and then we're gonna be able to, there you go. You can see those big bolts. I think they're like 22s, 25, something like that. Take them off now that we've had it jacked up, and then put their new shackles on, and then we can take the load off the leaf springs and then try to take out the shocks, and then we'll see what we need to do next. Here is the new shackle. It is in. That was probably the most difficult thing I've ever done on the Explorer. We haven't done the shocks or anything yet, so that's kind of next. But this thing required us to like put a bottle jack between the leaf spring and a jack to jack up the body, and then tie strap the bottle jack to the frame so it didn't slip away. Because basically when you lower it, it pushes the leaf spring away, not allowing us to align it up. But the bolts we have in are 2 mils thicker, so they actually were a little snug to get on. Okay, so we were doing things completely wrong. Get the bottle jack out of the back of the Explorer, tie strap it to the frame, and then all you gotta do is push it down, line up your shackle. We were done this sucker in like 10 minutes. You're done? There you go. That's it. Snap the zip ties, you're done. If you need to do this, this is literally like the easiest way. However, if those tie straps snap, word to the wise, yeah, that bottle jack's gonna go flying. So please do at your own discretion, but basically we had the side done so quickly, so easily, and there's already holes in the part of the frame where it goes. Guys, that was a dream. That was awesome. All right, there you go, there you got it. These shackles are on. They have brand new hardware on them, which you have to get yourself. And basically, there's the Rancho shocks, looking good. And they're kind of difficult to get in. Rancho doesn't put on the boots for you, so basically you got to try to squeeze them over the large end of the shock. A little bit more difficult. And but she's done, and she's looking good. All right, gearheads, I'm absolutely exhausted. The rear shocks are finally in. I'll take you to the rear of the vehicle to show you what it looks like. But basically, Rancho did not include new hardware for the lower bolt, which was kind of strange. Like it doesn't even, it's 300,000 kilometers old. So like, why wouldn't you include that for the shocks? Basically, on a scale of 3 stars being the most difficult, I would say it's like 2.5. Even though we don't have to cut anything or anything, the suspension's under load, so it takes some finesse. Do that bottle jack trick, that was kind of crazy. But I hope you guys enjoyed the content. I'll show you exactly how she turned out. It looks like she's pretty a nice ride height right now, but I won't really know until I take her for a test drive. So until the next video, take care and do what moves you.